Hey, how you doing? Thank you for joining me again. Let's see where I was in the story. I was talking about we were in the manager's office, and I was talking to the owner about Heckle and Jekyll doing the thing. What do you call it? Prepping food in the lodge. Like I said, it's where dirty gamers play. It's not where you're supposed to prep food. It's crazy to me. But again, they didn't care, and like I said, I understand that they didn't care. They're underlings. You're not supposed to care. But I didn't understand the fact that he didn't care, the owner. Because I said, I looked in his eyes. I saw him did not give a shit in his eyes. It's like he had bigger fish to fry. And as weird as it sounds, if he would have chewed my ass right then and said it was my job as their manager to make sure that never happens again, I would have accepted that. That would have made sense and it would have tracked, because that meant there was a one-tier system. Everybody's on the same tier. You screw up, you get your ass chewed, and shit rolls downhill. But that didn't happen. So that told me that there was a two-tier system. There was a tier system where they could do what they wanted. And he didn't care because it didn't matter to him. But if I made a slight mistake, he'd rip me apart. I didn't understand why this system created, or why it existed, rather. But I was instantly able to see it. But I mean, again, it was still in that denial phase because he was my commander. Blind loyalty. I built myself to be, have fealty to him. So it was like one of the cracks, it was a small crack, but it was a crack nonetheless. But before this, and like I said, the timeline's a little hokey. This happened actually a little down the road because Heckle and Jekyll there for about a couple months. And like I said, the first couple of months they were there, they were doing good work. They were dusting, like I said, I don't know if they were miming it or not, but I didn't really check. But they would stand around the store dusting windows or dusting shelves, wiping windows and stuff like that. And I'm like, cool, works good. And that's the point where I was like, the manager or the owner, I knew he wanted to have a second store. So it's like I went to them and I told them, I explained to them what was going on. It's like the owner wants to have a second store. That means I'm going to get upped. That means we're going to need two managers. So if you guys are interested, I will train you to be managers. And both of them just had shitty grins across their face because, of course, they want to be managers of game stores. And to me, that was the turning point. And I still to this day don't understand why. Because it's like you're handing them the keys to the kingdom and they turn to shit. It's just like their work efforts stopped. They were just became more belligerent, more just want to just tell people what to do or tell me what to do even. And it got frustrating because it's like, here I am trying to help these kids, trying to help them grow. And it's like the one kid, like I said, he brought his kids in, literally. Like, they're running around a couple days a week for a couple hours, and you would think he'd be like, yeah, I'm going to do the best I can every day. No, the moment I presented the opportunity to be up to a manager, he was just like, whatever. Like I said, they were happy about it. But then, let me give you some examples. Like their jobs were to cook, to work the cafe, prep the food, and clean. The way they would do, like I explained how we should go through the system of cleaning the plates, spraying them off, they would stop doing that. They would just throw them in the sink. And then like that's how I saw the butter start building up, and it would turn the black sink, it would turn it white from all the butter and grease that just got cold on it. And I would explain to him again and again, still wouldn't do it. It took like 3 or 4 times before Jekyll stopped leaving dishes overnight, that I had to tell him to quit leaving dishes overnight. And then there was another incident where I would keep catching him playing on the square system, trying to figure out how it works. And it's like, you got other responsibilities. It's like, well, I know you don't know how to do it or this. And like, I don't care that I know how to do it. It's low on my priorities list. I know how to do it enough. I know how to do what I need. That's not your responsibility. And he would try to explain to me how it works. And it's one of those things too, because he did explain to me how the tips work. And I still didn't use it because it's like, I didn't ask you for it. I'm not going to use it. Get the fuck out of here, because it was irritating to me because you're causing a problem when there shouldn't be one. You need to be cleaning now. And another thing was, because he overheard me and the manager talking about wanting to make place cards and naming all the 10 tables in the lodge. And then I caught him in the middle of trying to do that with the white, because I bought these white plastic cards, like credit card size little cards, and they're a plastic card. And I got a sticker machine that made labels, and I would label things. Like that's what I used to label most of the things around there, was this little white card and stickers on it. And I would just put whatever I need on it. And then I caught him in the middle of trying to take those and making labels for all the tables. And I had to stop him. I'm like, why are you doing that? He's like, oh, I just wanted to, show initiative and do this. Like, nobody told you to do that. And the thing he didn't understand was I had this same conversation with the owner like 3 months prior. Because, of course, when I found this stuff, wouldn't that be the idea that I had, being that I had the conversation with the owner and I had the cards? And the owner was adamant. He's like, no, I don't want to look at it. It looks cheap. So basically, if this kid would have put those plastic cards on there and the owner would have walked in and seen them, I would have got my ass chewed, because something that the owner specifically told me not to do 3 months ago has now happened. And it's like, on what names are you going to name the tables? So you're just going to take it upon yourself and make your own names up? It's like, that's not your job. And it was just the frustration that all his job was to do was to clean, and he was doing it at least half-assedly in the beginning. And now it's like the moment I told them that they're going to be promoted to MITs, they were just like, no, just but whatever. I'm going to do my own thing now. I'm going to be a freaking my own man. And it's crazy to me. And like I said, it grew and evolved into there. But it was just, like I said, it was frustrating, because here I am. I'm having to deal with that now, while I'm still having to deal with the inventory going in, trying to figure out what's renamed here. Because, like I said, I'm dealing with that with them too. Because when I'm looking in there and seeing the paint put in there, like I told you, there was Vallejo paints that should be put in. Vallejo model color, 70.2.3, Japanese World War II, khaki, whatever. It just says khaki paint. And I was like, why would you put it in this way? So it's like, here I am arguing with them. It's like, I'm specifically telling you guys not to put this stuff in. You're doing it anyways, and then you're putting in this way. And it's like they'd never had an answer for it. It was just like they would always pawn it off on something else. Like the inventory, they would just, well, he put us in and he told us we have to get it done. And it's like I would get a story from them and I would get a story from the owner. And like I said, it was frustrating because those stories didn't match. And it's like, who's blowing smoke up my ass? And I would always assume it was them, because fealty to the owner. But now looking back, seeing how he is, honestly, what I feel like is Heckle actually made this is later on that it happened, but he made a playlist on the Spotify and a store account called Insubordinate 101 by his real name. So that's how I know it was him. It wasn't just a pseudonym or nothing. It was his name. He made it. And he's playing it at the store. Or he has a Spotify link, so I just caught it. Because it was his Spotify was linked to the store, and he's like I said, he had it in there. And I'm like, what the hell do you have to be insubordinate for? And it's like, it was frustrating to me that I had to deal with that as a manager now. And like I said, it's like this kid was getting, freebies and stuff. It's like he was allowing his kids to have hang out there. And it was like another incident. Because Heckle really took an attitude. And like I said, as I go on, you'll you'll hear the attitude he took to me. But this is how I treated him. There was an incident in a week where he had his daughter's birthday. And 2 days before his daughter's birthday, he called out sick. Now, I'm on a salary set schedule. So the day he called out sick, I had to work that day for free. I had to cover his shift. Now, I could have been a jerk and said, or just been a manager and said, hey, you called in sick that day. You got to cover your daughter's birthday. Sorry. But nope, I worked that day for free too, because that wasn't one of my scheduled days. So it's like, that's how I treated him. So he can say whatever the hell he wants. I may have been strict about getting the details done, but damn right I am, man. I'm managing a store. I'm not playing a game. I'm telling y'all how things are going to be done, because I've done them enough to know how they do, and your answers haven't been better than mine. So like I said, it was a frustrating place to work, but like I said, this is where it's ramping up. This is where it's just going to be more and more BS that I have to deal with for like needlessly. It's like needless drama in a game store. And it blew my mind how much there was when I saw this beautiful ending, but there was just all this little teenage bullshit in the way. I don't know, but the drama gets worse. Anyways, thank you for your time. Hope you have a great day, and you take care.